Hi, I'm Michael Maher, CEO of OnePassport. I've just come off our fortnightly CCI call, which is the COVID Credentials Initiative under the Linux Foundation for Public Health. It's been going for over a year now, this group, and it's working with academia, companies, businesses, and government from all over the world. It's quite fascinating. You've got Harvard and MIT and Kent Uni and Miami Uni, etc., playing in it. Big companies like IBM and Microsoft down to much smaller players like us who are bringing solutions to bear all over the world. And then you've got government working with academia, government working with business as well. So we really get an insight to see what's happening around the world. And the main discussion is about interoperability. How do we have a standardized format for the COVID vaccination certificate and a standard format for sharing that certificate? Because if we don't solve those two, it makes international work really difficult. So as Australia, we're talking about opening up again. And the first step is all domestic. How do we go to the footy? How do we go to cafes, restaurants, pubs? How do we go interstate? But Australia is a country of migrants and travellers. The real test case for us being open again is when we can go travelling overseas and overseas people can come to Australia for migration, for holidays, come and visit family, etc. So until we get that one sorted, we're not really open again. It's a fascinating group to be a part of, and we really get to see what's happening around the world. There is a discussion which is, when you join, there's a slide they show you, which I wanted to talk about. It's called decentralized centralization. And they say this is where we're starting from. Though there's 191 sovereign states in the world, there aren't 191 systems, really big systems. There's more likely about 30 or so that are key players. I've got a list of some of them here. There's the EU Digital COVID Certificate. New York State, so EU has come together as for one certificate. New York State, so one of the 50 states of America has its own. The New York State Excelsior Pass, the AOK Pass, the Korea COOV, which stands for Korea COVID Over Pass. IATA Travel Pass for the international travel industry by their industry body. India DVOC Pass, the VCI Smart Health Card. There's a whole range of them, and they're designed to be working together is the aim of the exercise. And the three key things that they want you to understand is there's no single ecosystem that can include everyone. There is no single solution that is suitable for all use cases. And there's no single technical framework that can rule the world. Because depending where you come from, you'll have access to or have a desire to use different things. That's the reality. As politicians, you can jump up and down and say, we really want our version, but the reality is the reality, unfortunately. So with all that knowledge, it's really scary when I talk to the Australian government. And as I said, we're talking to our colleagues in this space who also talk to government. And the attitude seems to be, we are light years ahead of everyone else in the world. Now, we have AIR, the Australian Immunisation Register, which a lot of countries don't have. That's great. A single place to record vaccinations. But we're talking about the next step, the vaccination certificate, the anti-fraud stuff on that certificate, which has been pulled apart in the paper. The way to share that certificate so that we can go travelling, both domestically and internationally. They're the topics we're talking about here. And when the Australian government comes out with comments which is showing an arrogance and saying we are light years ahead and that you, private companies, are nowhere near where we are in our vaunted position, I have my doubts. I've never seen a really good federal government or state government rolled out IT program. Usually they become a bit of a white elephant and cost overruns, they get pulled out again. So the fact that government is really not talking to private companies about this stuff really worries me. I know it's happened before, but this is probably the first time it's been at this scale all over the world with key examples, not just here in Australia, but overseas. So I hope that government starts to interact, especially with some of the great cutting edge technology companies in Australia. There are some great companies here. That's why we have the likes of things like Atlassian and Canva, Afterpay, etc., cutting through on the global scale because they are good companies. And there are ones like that who are playing in this credentialing space. So hopefully the Australian government comes to the party and starts talking to the companies who really have the cutting edge technology in this space. Take care, everyone.